For two turbulent decades, from the mid-1980s through the early 2000s, the New York City Police Department found itself caught in a relentless struggle against a hidden enemy. Corruption seated deep within its own ranks. This was not just about the occasional bribe or a rogue officer. Instead, it was a sprawling web of collusion, cover-ups, and control, where organized crime families, particularly the notorious Lucchese family, managed to infiltrate the very institution sworn to uphold the law. The story of the NYPD during this era is a cautionary tale about the seductive power of organized crime and the vulnerabilities of even the most esteemed law enforcement agencies. At the heart of this dark chapter stood two detectives whose names would become synonymous with betrayal: Louis Ippolito and Stephen Caracappa. Both men, respected in their field, wore their badges with pride, or so it seemed. Behind closed doors, they served not just the city, but the interests of mob bosses, passing along sensitive law enforcement intelligence that would cost lives and compromise countless investigations. Their dual allegiance turned them into the ultimate double agents, orchestrating or facilitating murders and attempted murders, all at the behest of their underworld patrons. For years, Ippolito and Caracappa operated in the shadows, their connections to the Lucchese crime family granting them both power and protection. They provided mobsters with the names of informants, the status of ongoing investigations, and even participated in the grim business of eliminating threats to the family's operations. In total, their actions contributed to 8 murders and 2 attempted murders. By the time they were finally indicted in 2005, the damage had already been done. Lives lost, trust shattered, and the very fabric of the department's integrity torn apart. But the story of corruption in the NYPD during these 2 decades extended far beyond the infamous Mafia cops. In 1992, the Mullen Commission was established to probe the depths of misconduct within the department. What they found was troubling: a culture that did not just tolerate corruption, but at times actively concealed it. The Commission's 1994 report painted a bleak picture, revealing a shift from the old days of consensual corruption, such as taking bribes, to more aggressive forms of police criminality. Officers were implicated in brutality, theft, and the abuse of authority, while internal mechanisms for discipline proved woefully inadequate. Misconduct was not being rooted out, it was being swept under the rug. The cost of this systemic failure was staggering, both in human terms and financial. Between 2000 and 2014, over 12,000 cases of police misconduct resulted in settlements that cost New York taxpayers more than $400 million. In 2019 alone, misconduct lawsuits amounted to nearly $69 million, a startling 76% increase from the previous year. Each payout was a silent admission of wrongdoing, a testament to the challenges the city faced in holding its protectors accountable. Throughout these years, the Mafia's grip on the NYPD was not absolute, but it was enough to undermine public trust and embolden criminal enterprises. By leveraging connections, exploiting weaknesses, and intimidating or corrupting officers, organized crime families extended their influence from the streets of New York into the precincts meant to keep them in check. In the end, the unraveling of this era of corruption required relentless investigation, courageous whistleblowers, and a hard look at the department's own culture. The convictions of Ippolito and Caracappa marked a turning point, but the lessons were clear. Corruption, once allowed to take root, is difficult to eradicate. The NYPD's struggle against organized crime and internal misconduct serves as a stark reminder of the vigilance required to protect the integrity of law enforcement, and the high price paid when that vigilance falters.